Hello everyone, welcome to my channel PSG Sathi. So finally, after a long wait of 8 years, HPSC conducted its exam of Assistant Professor in every stream. So today I will be reviewing HPSC Assistant Professor Physics Exam question paper, its difficulty level, and what are the solutions, and what kind of the expected cutoff we can expect. So as we all know, there were 100 questions and 0.25 negative marks for the wrong attempt, and this time there is another option, that is option E, which means you are not attempting, and this option is mandatory to fill in your OMR sheet. And there is another guideline: if you are not attempting like more than 10 questions and you did not fill that box E, so you will be directly disqualified. So let's start. जल्दी से start करते हैं. So this is the question paper set A which I got. Let's solve this first questions, which is find the value of inverse Laplace transform of the given function s plus 2 s square plus 4s plus 5. So we can write this function in the denominator s plus 2 whole square plus 1, which in other form we can write s minus in the bracket minus 2 upon s minus 2 का whole square plus 1 square. So which exact matches with the identity which is given by s minus a whole square plus b square, and the solution of which is given by e raised to power at and cos bt. So comparing these equations like this solution with the above equation, we can note that a is equal to minus 2 and b is equal to 1. Now we have been asked at t equal to pi by 2. So when we put t's value here, so cos pi by 2, we all know that cos 90 is 0. So all the product becomes 0. So that means option A is correct. Now another question: the equation of constraint in case of a particle moving away from the surface of a sphere of radius r is given by this. Now name the type of the constraint. So we all know that x plus y square z square is greater than r square. That means particle is away from the surface of sphere. So this will be the non-holonomic because it doesn't depend on the coordinates. The other question is the mathematical representation of this and D'Alembert principle, and the symbols have meaning. So option A is correct. Another question: which one of the following is generalized coordinate? So answer A, angle, is the correct answer. The answer question number 5th, D is correct. Noether theorem states that Lagrangian quantity is conserved. The question number 6, the transformation is canonical if this p dq minus dq is B is correct, which is exact differential. The question number 7, the Lagrangian equation of motion consists of dash functions, so which is scalar. So option A is correct. Unpolarized, question number 8, unpolarized laser light with a wavelength of 632.8 nanometer passes through two linear polarization positioned at 30-degree angle relative to each other. The amount of the light transmitted through the second polarizer. So in this question I try to find the answer which is coming different from the given option, but if we go for the options, then option B will be the correct, that is the 70% of the incident light. Now question number 9, the Poisson bracket of a function a with itself is identical, that is option A, 0. Now the Lagrangian L is written with respect to any coordinate, say qk, as dl upon dk is equal to 0. So this is a cyclic coordinate. So option A is correct. Question number 11, one of the Hamilton equation of motions is dash. So option A is correct, that is minus pk dot is equal to partial derivative of Hamilton with dqk, that is the coordinates. Another Question number 12. The relationship between entropy and thermodynamic quantity probability is, that is S is equal to K log omega. Question number 13. Change in enthalpy in exothermic reaction is, that is always negative. So answer D is correct. Now question number 14. Consider the three collection of the particle named microcanonical, canonical and grand canonical. Which one physical quantity is constant in all three ensemble? So if we look upon the three quantities, like go for the microcanonical, separate, canonical and grand canonical, so we find that the volume is common, so the option B is correct. Now, in which statistic particle are distinguishable? So there is only one type, that is the Maxwell-Boltzmann, so option C is correct. Now dash is not an analog to the digital converter, so the option D, that is the weighted resistor. The gain is high in dash photodetector, that is avalanche diode, that is the option number D. Now, which IC has infinite impedance? So option C, that is IC 741. Question number 19. High frequency operation of dash is possible due to the suppression of ionized impurity scattering. So that is answer will be the MOSFET. Option D is correct. In frequency modulation, frequency of carrier wave change in accordance with the instantaneous value of dash of the modulating signal. So in this question, the frequency modulation is talked about. So the answer will be the option A, that is frequency. Now question number 21. The required bandwidth for AM is dash kilohertz. So the answer will be the 2 FM. Question number 22. So in these questions, by looking at the equation, we can see there is a conductivity is involved, that is the sigma. So the answer will be the option B is correct, that is the conducting medium. Now next move to the question number 23. So Fourier coefficient of the function is represented by, so the option C is correct, that is -2 upon pi for the odd n. Question number 24. The energy of the beta particle is, that is always continuous, so option A is correct. Which of the following essentially give rise to allowed for the forbidden transition probability? So the option is B, orthonormality of the spherical harmonics. Now question number 26. Which of the following Fresnel equation for normal incidence of electromagnetic wave at the boundary of two dielectric media? So that is option A. Another question that is 27. All beta decay processes are isobaric because there is no change in the atomic mass number, that is A, but only in the beta decay process only Z is atomic number is changed. Question number 28. The basic principle of detection of neutrino is, so this option A, that is inverse beta decay is the correct. Question number 29. Raman lines at wave number greater than the incident wave number are known as, so higher wave number is correspond to anti-Stokes. So this option B is correct. Now a charged particle moves a dielectric medium with a refractive index, that is 1.33 with a velocity of 0.8 c. So we have to find this angle, that is Cherenkov angle, at which the immediate radiation is observed. So the answer C, that is 20 degree is correct. Now in question number 31, there is a potential given and we have to find the resulting electric field, and there is a two potential, that is scalar and vector potential, but we know that electric field only depend on this scalar potential, magnetic field depend on the vector potential. So simply electric field is given by minus dV upon dr. So if we solve this equation and we got the answer number 1, that is A. Now question number 32. The units of the slew rate of an op-amp is, that is volt per second. Question number 33. Heterojunctions BTT device overcome limitations imposed by, that is option C, thermal runaway. Two PN junction diode connected back to back cannot be used as a BGT due to, that is because of the large base width, because in this it is asked two PNP diode connected back to back. So the option D is correct. Question number 35. Dash depend for its operation on the rectifying barrier formed between metal and semiconductor. So the answer is option C, that is metal semiconductor field effective transistors. So option C is correct. Now question number 36, empirical relation of mean, mode and median parameter is, so option A is correct, that is mean minus mode equal to 3 times of mean minus median. Now dash require a direct band semiconductor for its construction. So I found this question is confusing because solar cell also require direct band semiconductor and LED also require direct band semiconductor. So I will go with the option D, that is LED. Now question number 38, the relationship between this coefficient pi and the thermoelectric power Q is determined by, so option C is correct. The question number 39, the Heisenberg picture is obtained by choosing the unity operator. So this is unity operator, so that means option D is correct. Now question number 40. Question number 40, the synchrotron radiation power vary as direct of the radius of the particle motion. So it depend inversely proportional of the r scale. So option B is correct. Now question number 41, the total energy released per burning of the one hydrogen nucleus in the PPI cycle is, that is 26 mega electron volt. Question number 42, the electronic number of the positron or antineutrino is, we know that for the electron it's 1, so that means for the positron it will be -1, so option A is correct. Now question number 43, Giga-Needle log give relationship between, that is option A correct, range and lifetime of the alpha emitting element. Question number 44, the magic nuclei have zero electric quadrupole moment. So when there is a zero electric quadrupole moment, that means it is spherical shape. Question number, so option C is correct. Question number 45, on solving this equation, so we get the option A. Question number 46, Hamiltonian principal function S and Hamiltonian characteristic function W for the conservative system. So it is talking about the conservative system, so it will follow the relation option B, that is S equal to W minus ET is the correct. 47, the constraint on a bead on a uniform rotating wire in a force-free space is, so option C is correct, that is Rehonomous. Question number 48, which statistic follow Pauli exclusion principle, so that is direct Fermi Dirac. Now question number 49, the phase space referred to, so this is answer option C, both position and the momentum coordinate. Question number 50, the Kelvin-Jordan equation can be used for the particle light, that is option A, pi meson. Question number 51, the number of ways in which n identical bosons can be distributed into energy levels. So we know that the direct formula for the distribution of the boson, that is n plus g minus 1 factorial upon n factorial and g minus 1 factorial, where g is the degeneracy. So here degeneracy is given by the two energy levels. So if we put the value like n plus 2 minus 1 factorial and solve this equation, so we get the answer n plus 1. Now question number 52, what is the saddle point? So we know that saddle point is the unstable point, so option C is correct. Now in question number 53, it's a simple direct equation. So particle is moving in a plane and attracted toward the origin of the coordinate with a force inversely proportional to the square of the distance from it. So F is given by the K upon R square, so we can find from the there V, and we get V is equal to K upon R, and we know that for the kinetic energy the simple expression is 1 by 2m R dot square plus R square theta dot square. So option A will be correct. Question number 54, so dash is the Maxwell equation derived from the Ampere's law, so that is option D, divergence of H equal to J, that is the current density. Question number 55, consider the elementary particle equation, proton plus something which is equal to this, and we have to identify the particle A. So if we go for the charge conservation and we look for the spin conservation, so we get the answer A. Question number 56, the strangeness quantum number is conserved in, that is the strong and electromagnetic interaction only, because this strangeness quantum number is violated in the weak interaction. So this option D is correct. So question number 57. So this reaction is not possible if we go first by charge conservation. So we see that charge is conserved. But if we compare the stringency conservation, so we see that there is not stringency is not conserved. So this reaction is forbidden. So option B is correct. Question number 58. A baryon X decay as this X into this sigma plus pi 0 and pi 1 pi negative. So if we compare the spin components, so by looking at the equation, we can see that this has the isospin, like sigma have the isospin number that is +1, pi 1 0 has the 0 and pi minus have -1. So this has the isospin number 0. So that means option A is correct. Now question number 59, we know that WK approximate solutions is breakdown near classical turning point. So that is the option C correct. Question number 60, the action of a unitary operator on any state leave it, that is the norms unchanged. So option A is correct. Question number 61, which of the following is example of high temperature semiconductors? So that is YbCO. Now question number 62, so in which we in this question we have given some numbers, that is the sum of hk square plus k square plus l square, and we have to find which previous lattice matches for this correspond to this number. So if we look one by one, like 3 hk square plus k square l square 3, that is made by the combination of 1 1 1. Another number is given by 4. So if we go for the combination of 0 0 2, which give us 4. Now next combination, that is 8, which correspond to the combination of 0 2 2. So that is 8. Another is 11. So 11 correspond to the number. So 11 correspond to the number 1 1 3, that means 3 ka square 9, so it goes to the 11. 12 correspond to the 2 2 2, so that is this. Now the 16 correspond to the 0 0 4. 19 correspond to 3 3 1, and 20 correspond to 0 2 4. So if we look on at these points, either all the three numbers are odd or either all three numbers are even, and none of them is divisible by, like, follow the condition of divisible by 4. So that means option A, that is face centered cubic, is correct. Now question number 63, which is continuity equation. So we know that divergence of J is equal to minus g rho by dt, and if we bring minus g rho by dt on the left side, so option B is correct. Question number 64, the sum of a complex number and its conjugate is, so if we consider a complex number x plus eta y and its conjugate will be x minus eta y, and if we add them, so it will be 2x, so that means it's real. So option C is correct. Non-radiative collision decay in laser is, that is decreased excited state lifetime, because non-radiative decay, that means which is happening because of the phonon, so it decreases the lifetime. So option B is correct. Now in question number 66, a point source for the charge can be identified using a direct delta function. If a point is located at r equal to -2, then the relation will be, so here the most of the student will be confused because it's a direct delta function, so it will be option C is correct, but no, because at r equal to -2, so the range is given from 0 to infinity, and -2 doesn't lie between this range, so option A is correct, that is 0. Question number 67, the Laplace transform is, that is a linear operator, option C. Which of the flowing laser will be the highest coherence length? So option D is correct, helium neon. Question number 69, Brewster angle represent the angle of incidence at which, so we know that at Brewster angles, so there is two lights, one is the reflected and one is the transmitted. In the reflecting light we have the in plane electric field component, and in the transmitted light we have out of the plane electric field components. So the option B is correct. So the next question is question number 70. The energy of a three-dimensional harmonic oscillator state is given by 9h cut omega by 2. So we have the, for the three-dimensional harmonic oscillator, we have the direct formula, that is n plus 2 into n plus 1 by 2, and here n is 3 dimensions. So if we solve this equation, we get the tenfold degeneracy, that is option C is correct. Thus, question number 71, the smallest unit cell in the real lattice is, that is Wigner's cell. Now, in 72, this measurement tells accurately. So we know that whole measurements tell accurately whether the semiconductor is n-type or p-type. Question number 73, quasi-crystal process is that fold symmetry, that is the option B, 5-fold. Question number 74, which of the flowing crystalline phase is close to the solid phase? So option B is correct. Question number 75. Cronin-Penney model. We know that Cronin-Penney model is, that is the approximate model. Question number 76. The Burgers vector of the HD location is dashed to the dislocation line, that is the perpendicular. Option A correct. Question number 77. Superconductor act as a perfect, that is diamagnetic. Question number 78. The primitive cell formed in the reciprocal lattice. So here the reciprocal lattice, that is the brilliant zone. Question number 79. Which of the following equations state non-existence of the magnetic monopole? So that is divergence of B is equal to 0. Question number 80. The relationship between the speed of light, permeability and permittivity, that is option A, C is equal to 1 upon under root mu and epsilon permittivity. Question number 81. In which of the following state system population inversion doesn't occur? So that is the option D, 2 level. Question number 82. Fine structure of hydrogen atom is obtained as a result of that correction to the Hamilton. So that is the relativistic. Option B is correct. Which of the following assume the separation of electronic and nuclear motion? So we know that this is the option C, Born-Oppenheimer approximations. Question number 84. In the following options, we have to find the correct relationship between Einstein coefficient A and B. So option A is correct. Question number 85. For the Brownian motion, the graph of mean square displacement versus time in the long time limit, that is when t tends to infinity. So option C, that is the straight line with positive slope. Which of the following is an example of second order phase transition? That is the ferromagnetic phase to the paramagnetic phase. Option B correct. An eigenvector of a linear operator is a vector who doesn't change the action of the operator. So that is the direction. Option D is correct. The question number 28. The Laplace transform replace differentiation way. So here is the confusion. I think most of the students did this because Laplace transform is the integration, but no. If we go for the identity like this, so we can see that the derivative of a function is given by the sum s and multiplied by the Laplace transform of that function. So we can say that, so it's the multiplication. So option B is correct. Question number 89. For a given momentum p, the direct equation has dash. So option A, that is the 4 is correct. Question number 90. If to any linear operator there is a Hermitian adjoint, then the option B is correct. Question number 91. So option B, that is basis vector, is correct. Question number 92. Eigenvalue of a Hermitian operator are, that is the real. So option C is correct. Which of the following space is used for the description of a system in quantum statistical mechanics? That is phase space. So option A is correct. Question number 94. If Z is the partition function of a system of the particles, the energy is given by, so option C is correct, that is minus derivative with respect to beta, and that is log of Z. Now in question number 95, in this we have given the Fermi-Dirac distributions and we have to find which of the corrections. So option B is correct. Temperature T1 is higher than of T2 and 3T. Question number 96, the zeroth law of thermodynamics allows us to define, that is the temperature, which defines if two systems are equilibrium, and if we put in this B into another system, that is C, so C will also be in equilibrium and that quantity is called as temperature. So option C is correct. The theory of the strong interaction is known to be, that is the option B, QCD. Question number 98, we have to find the residue at the simple polo equal to Z equal to 2. So the option 4 by 5, option C is correct. Question number 99, quarks are color triplet while gluons are, that is the color octet. So option C is correct. The exchange particle responsible for the color interactions are, that is the gluons. So option A is correct. After looking all the questions, we find that questions are actually very basic and easier for those who are teaching or recently graduated. Since syllabus is mentioned as like CSIR NET syllabus, so most of the people are assuming, okay, the NET type of the questions will come, and I think most of the students are practicing like numerical. So we can't say it's a easier or tough because the questions are very basic, but there might be higher chances that cutoff will be go between the like 50 to 60 for the general category, or for the like reserve category we can assume it may go around 30 to 35. Now let's wait for the results. What HPSC, it's depend like how many students appear in the exam pattern. So let's wait for the results when HPSC given and how much cutoff will be given. So this is the tentative, like an approximate idea which I am telling here. So if you have another idea, so you can comment below down, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe this channel. Thank you.